we dropped by the Academy to learn how Sam is making quality fashion that matters in a fast fashion world.
Women's denim out there right now, they're not made like men's denim. You know, women's denim, the pockets aren't even real. It's kind of like shallow.
Yeah.
The back pockets, everything's for fashion.
Yes.
And so now we're kind of like going back to the time when women clothing were actually real. Not fast fashion, but clothing that actually lasts.
You're not taking the average fit model, you're taking average people
Real
that
fit, yeah.
want it to fit.
Exactly, yeah. Clamp fit, and this is what gives you that, the rivet there.
Yeah.
I want to do it.
First, you gotta
I want to try it.
Yeah, so
Don't mess it up, Charlie.
I'm going to mess it up.
These are for a customer. Riveting, girl. You rivet.
there you go.
Okay,
there you go,
sorry.
yeah.
Okay.
There you go.
All right.
Perfect.
He's like, I have to redo all these things.
These are done by hand instead of a template
Yeah.
that you find all the mass denims out there.
Welcome back to Ladies Doing Stuff podcast. I'm Charlie,
I'm Amber.
and we have our best friend here.
Monnaa.
What's up, Monnaa?
As you guys noticed, we are not in our regular studio setup
Yeah.
today. We are taking residence here at the Academy.
Yes, here in good old Long Beach.
Yes.
What's
Make
up?
sure you visit Sam and his shop. He's doing amazing work here. So shout out to Sam.
Yes,
What up,
thank you, Sam. So this episode is all about making changes.
Yeah, definitely. Just like the Academy is making a lot of changes in the clothing industry, we thought about the changes that we've made in our lives as being women of color and learning how to, I guess, not go with the formula of go to school, get a job,
Right.
be safe.
And even if you did that, if you're thinking like, oh man, this was the wrong decision, it's okay to do something else. And so we kind of want to break down those barriers of why it's so stigmatized or frowned upon to make these changes.
If you know it, the conversations I've had to explain to my grandmother about why I do what I do, tell me if you've been there. Raise a hand, tap a foot. All right.
And Monna's going to help us with some insight because she made a huge, crazy change. And she's going to tell us all about that on this episode. So stay tuned. If this is your first time here, make sure you subscribe. And if you want to listen to the audio only, find all the links down below.
Absolutely.
Let's get into it.
Monnaa, tell us about what you've done, where you've been. What are you doing now?
Yeah, I've done a few things.
Do you do stuff?
Do you do stuff? Are you a lady doing
All the
stuff?
stuff. No, yeah, I just finished a graduate program and I'm super happy it's over. I was doing a program at American University in International Peace and Conflict Resolution.
What?
So
Wow.
yeah, everybody's like, oh wow.
That sounds
But
so important.
It
right?
sounds so pretentious, doesn't it?
International peace, right?
Right. And conflict resolution.
And conflict
What?
resolution.
That's insane.
That's amazing.
But it's really not.
Why?
Because getting into graduate school is a huge feat, right? Like, if you're trying to do that, it's a selection process where you have to morph into either being somebody that is the typical applicant or like having yourself showcasing like your trauma or your experiences as a person of color.
So how did you get from graduating from this program?
Right.
You told me you worked in DC for a little bit. Is that correct?
Yeah, I worked in a few different outlets just because I needed to see where I was going to fit in, right? So I started off on Capitol Hill. I quit my job in 2 weeks.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
Yeah, what was that
It was a
about?
French exit, okay?
Really? You're just done.
I was like,
I'm out of here.
bye. Yeah.
I like that term, French exit. That's what we're going to use from now on.
That is a new record, I believe.
2 weeks.
And
Yeah.
it was graceless, like absolutely graceless.
Oh my God. You're like
Yeah.
flinging papers all over the place, setting stuff on fire.
I was like, confidential, what? I faced so many challenges because of my dual nationality. And there's one room where all of the holographics on your passport are made. And someone just turned around and looked at me and was like, are you supposed to be in here? And I was like, I'm an American citizen.
Like what is wrong with you?
What does that mean? I passed the security check just like you
Yeah.
did. Like, okay. And they were like, yeah, but don't you also have a passport from another country? I think you should leave. And then I learned that because of my heritage in Egypt, that I would never be eligible to work there as an American diplomat or like any other capacity.
How is that okay?
Exactly, right? Instead of tapping into the understanding and like deep knowledge that I may have of this particular culture or like country or whatever, like they were like, oh no, we don't know where your allegiances are. So
of course not.
I was like, is this an episode of
Are
The
you
X-Files?
loyal to America?
House of Cards right there.
Oh my
Really,
God.
like the
Really
Americans? Are you spying on us right now?
Who are you? Is Mona even your real name? 2 N's, 2 A's.
Who am I
What is
kidding?
that?
That is ridiculous. So what happened? Did they reach out like, hey, are you coming back? Or
Well, I left Capitol Hill, and yeah, they did call me on Monday morning just being like, where are you? And I called back being like, I'm never coming back.
Like, didn't you see my badge on the table?
Yeah.
I don't know.
they're
Why you
like, we
asking me?
lost another one.
They're just like ticking off boxes. Or is this just like a tally?
Yeah.
So you went from there
yeah.
and you were just done. You're like, I am not trying to be in this environment and just fueled with hate. So you decided to make this major change into what now?
Well, now I'm doing comedy. Yeah, and it's been really cool. It's been an awesome journey. And I mean, I went from Capitol Hill to State Department to U.S. Institute for Peace to the Arab American Institute. And oh yeah, I'm not supposed to do that. And then I just was like, I've gone through the DC circuit. Like the only other place for me left to try out would be the White House. And that's not happening. And
You sure don't want to pull up? See what happens?
Just honk a few times. You're Trump.
so I can be the person that they bring out for congressional hearings and be like, see, we
No.
have an Arab.
Yeah. Oh my God. Just standing in the back. Like,
Yeah. They're going to pin you right behind them.
Yes.
And be like,
We have one.
just one. No, we don't know anybody.
She's even a woman. Like,
So now you're in comedy, and what does that mean for you? Do you write? Do you do TV?
yeah, I mean, right now I'm doing a lot of awesome writing with like local people, so that's like a really cool outlet for me to flex in that arena. But I've mostly just been doing a lot of open mics and shows.
like stand up?
Yeah, stand up for
Oh,
sure.
shoot.
So it's been really cool. It was not as painful to leave DC as I thought it might have been because I was just so very done.
Yeah.
Like I faced racism in a way that I never did. And that growing pain in itself was really difficult. And much as you were talking about how you carried your experiences with you to something new, I feel like that now. Sometimes I get a little bit like distraught, like I'm too old to be coming into the game. Bitch, I'm 27, okay?
Yeah.
And then I started like thinking, this is like the most irrational lady thought I have. I'm like, my forehead is not getting any younger.
Lady thoughts. You gotta be careful with that forehead. Your forehead and your neck and your hands. They tell your age.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Let me see your
Right away.
hands. Okay, you're good.
All right, cool.
You don't look 27.
I'm good. But yeah, no, so I start getting envious of like the younger people that I see who are starting on the scene at 16,
Oh, yeah.
19, 23.
Okay,
And,
but they haven't failed enough to be successful.
I mean, but for real.
Like, what experience? What are you gonna say? Like, oh, I came out of my mom's womb and now here I am. Like, no, that's.
I mean, that's like one of the reasons why I'm just like, well, I had to take my journey and here I am where I'm at. And like, just as you were talking about, we have many passions.
Yeah.
And this generation is not like the generations before us. We have the luxury in a lot of ways to be able to pursue all of those passions,
Yeah.
sometimes simultaneously and sometimes in different sequences. So whenever I get really down on myself for, well, you could have avoided that. Well, you could have not done that. But didn't I have to?
Yeah.
In order to learn something.
Right. If I didn't have those multiple weeks of not sleeping, like nights and nights in a row because of work or school or whatever, would I have still been able to like hit the rock bottom that I really feel that you need to be able to be like, well, this is my life and I'm gonna share it with all you. Yeah. So I don't know. It's been a journey, but I'm happy for it.
Yeah.
Me too. I guess I want to hear from that silent other half that followed the path and they're convincing themselves as they look into the mirror every day, I'm okay with my choices.
Yeah.
I mean, I got into a space where I was like that for a while because I was so deeply ingrained in my life over there that it was like I had to be like, this is okay on some level. I chose this. I wanted
You're trying
this.
to convince yourself.
Exactly.
If you have to rationalize something to yourself on a daily basis, I guess we have to wonder, should you be doing that thing?
Exactly.
We shouldn't have to talk ourselves into it.
100%.
If it's your children, I'm sorry, you're kind of stuck. But
Do I
everything
really
else.
want you as a child?
don't think about it. Yes. Power
yourself.
through. Ah.
You have 15 days to drop them off at the fire department.
Well, that is good to know.
Just so
After
you know.
that, you're screwed.
Are you 16 days old? All right. Not happening.
Somebody's sad story. Okay. Back on topic.
Why do we laugh about the most horrific things?
I think
You
that's
have
the beauty
to.
of it.
Yeah.
Mona, tell us, why do we laugh about the most horrific things?
Man, I don't even know. I think that it's two sides of the same coin. So I have this joke where I'll talk about, I love my mom. I love hanging out with her. I'm happy I can be there for her. But I'm not really into seeing her nude body. I'm not really into
Because she's
having...
pale?
Because I have to help her shower. And so, watching her get undressed and get dressed, it's like, is that me in 50 years?
Wow.
And I'm just like, maybe dying young isn't really that bad. And
Vanity.
and then I go on to say, and this usually gets really big laughs, which the first time I said it, I was like, what the f- are these people laughing at?
Yeah.
But I was just like, oh, well, I love her, but I gotta admit, I'm really ready for her to go. And out of context, of course it's not gonna be funny. But for some reason, whenever I build up to it on stage, people are like, did she just say that? And it's so shocking that people laugh.
Well, what do you expect people to do?
I'm not really doing it for the reaction. I'm doing it because I need to hear myself say it, right? And so when I hear people laugh at stuff like that, I'm like, this is because art is how people rationalize that we're going to die. This is how people figure out this is life and then it's gonna end. At least that's how I interpret the artistic and creative endeavors that I involve myself in. And I think that when people are met with that kind of confrontation of authenticity or of this is a very real life situation that I could be in, they're like, and you gotta laugh it off.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's inspiring, honestly. To everyone out there, please follow that path. Do it in a smart way. There's nothing wrong with being smart about it.
Exactly.
We're not saying throw all care and caution to the wind and follow your dreams. Yeah, do that. But I still gotta go to work tomorrow, y'all.
Yeah, you still got bills to pay, but if you, say if you have something stashed and you want to put in your 1 day notice, just do it.
If you want to make that French exit,
Do it.
please share your story with us.
That Frexit.
Oh my gosh.
Frexit.
But just make sure you tell us what, I love hearing quitting stories. I have one too. So man, when we have the time.
We'll do a quitting episode.
Yeah.
Don't
I
you
quit
worry.
this.
I quit. Is that what you just said?
I quit this bitch.
Is that what you said?
No, I wish. Oh my god, that'd be so great.
Oh, wow.
No, I didn't.
Yeah. Well,
Mine are not that exciting now that I think about it. I think yours is better.
I have many quitting stories that are like that, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I quit this bitch. I'm out this bitch.
Or just who the f- do you think you are kind of stories.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
For sure.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. I would love to hear that. My dream, I'll never be in this situation, but I just want to get on intercom and be like, F all y'all, you know what I mean? Just tell off the whole store for no reason. She doesn't even go here. Anyway.
I did that in 2011.
Oh my god! She's like, you're
That
living
was
all of our
03.
fantasies.
It was devastating at the time,
Oh,
but after I walked out of it, because I was shaking, I was like, did I really just do that? I was working at It's a Grind, which no longer exists because that bitch who managed it was a and
What?
so
She was a Anna.
it was both. And so a series of events, whatnot. And then the day she called me in, she didn't even really call me in. I was going in for a normal shift, but then I saw my name crossed out on all the schedule.
Oh.
And so she was like, Mona, sit down. We need to talk. And I was like, no, you sit down.
Oh.
And I was just like, I'm going to take my paycheck. I don't need to hear your goodbye. And then I stormed out. And that was pretty much it.
I love
Yeah.
it.
I was 19.
Dang.
Yeah.
Girl, you've always had a little fight in you, huh?
She's
It's
saucy.
leave me alone. I already get enough from other people. Leave me alone. That's pretty much how I think most of the time.
I ain't mad at it.
That's why we have you here. I was just like, oh damn, am I scared of her? I don't know.
Never pulled a knife on anyone though.
She's like, not yet, but next Tuesday.
Yeah, she's like,
You
it's
never
on my list. So Mona, let me ask you a question. How do we get to change people's mindsets about making that change? How do we get them to see it a little bit more positively?
I feel like I had to see the darkest to be able to get to a place where I was ready to accept that I was worthy of having good and nice things or a good life or a happy life. And even now I still really struggle with that because I just constantly compound and carry on my shoulders all of the struggles that the people that came before me had to go through, or all the struggles that I see very close friends of mine go through. And it just it simultaneously fuels my fire because I think I have to do more and be more for my community and for the people in my life.
Totally.
But at the same time, it just makes me like very, very resentful of the people who never have to face that kind of stuff. So it's like this dual-edged sword where I need to be able to figure out how to silence this voice so that this voice can prevail. But I think what really helped me with my narrative was that your why is allowed to change, right?
Totally.
So like my motivation at the beginning of starting comedy was literally so I could sleep. The first night I came home after doing an open mic, I was like blissful. It was so cool.
Wow, because you just always wanted to do it and you're like, I can't stop thinking about it, so I need to make this happen.
In some way, yeah, because when I started thinking about, okay, why am I even here? Why was this my remedy? It's because there were all these clues throughout my entire life of this is what your right now is leading up to. So I think that you need to trust your intuition because that's gonna be right. And allow yourself to fail. And be okay with the fact that your motivations will change. Because that was then, and now all I can think about is, well, how am I going to make it possible to create a space for myself and for women like me, right? Like, everything about being visibly Arab in America is to be someone who is not valued or to be someone who is immediately discredited or what have you. Like in the political climate ever since the Gulf War, I feel like my community has been silenced in so many different ways. There's nothing more satisfying than seeing yourself doing the stuff that you always imagine yourself to be doing.
I can't disagree with that.
Yes, definitely fulfilling your purpose. And we were talking about that on a past episode.
Yeah.
It's just a reoccurring theme. Like, definitely go with your passion and whatever fulfills you. Like, whatever dream you had when you were little and you still have it while you're here, just go for it.
Go for it. And be smart about it. I'm sorry, I still gotta say that.
Amber needs to be smart. I'm just like, throw everything to the wind. Just move to a different country. You'll be fine. Whatever.
Yeah.
A little bit of both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can do both.
Yeah.
totally can.
Take the Amber and Charlie approach.
Yeah.
With a little bit of Monnaa on top.
A little sprinkle of Monnaa.
Sprinkle it.
Thank you so much for listening and watching. If you didn't already, go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube channel and go ahead and check out those links below.
Make sure you guys go ahead and rate, review, and subscribe if you're a podcast listener. Check us out on Stitcher, iTunes, everything. You can find us on your favorite platform. No joke.
Yes.
We're there.
Well, thank you again. This is Charlie.
And this is Amber.
And I'm Monnaa.
We'll see you guys next time.
Signing off.